It's training camp season. Today we're looking at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and getting a good look at Emeka Egbuka. He's smoking fools in joint practices right now, crushing drills. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're looking at your players every single day, what they're doing at training camp, how they're climbing the depth chart, your position battles, and those guys are getting ready to draft in fantasy football here soon. Click that button. Stop missing out. We're looking at Emeka Egbuka here today. 3 minutes, 30 seconds of clips. We'll loop this and keep talking ball. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to discuss, especially fantasy football from all facets and formats. But there he is. Just crushing it today. Crushing it. From what I'm reading, he was putting guys on skates, making big plays today. Looking solid. Practice just now wrapping up too. Just now wrapping up as I'm recording this. Boom, look at that. Look back before the cut. For the sell. Baker Mayfield loves this guy. Loves this guy. And they're saying, who said that? They said he was like one of the smartest wide receivers they ever played with. Brandon Inns. Brandon Inns from Ohio State. One of the smartest wide receivers he ever played with. And he is. And it's also got brought up by Baker in one of the interviews as well about how smart he is. Not just smart as in like 1 + 1, ABC, but smart as in like body positioning. Not just when you rise up around the sideline, but keeping your feet down to get the yards after the catch when the ball's in the air and your body positioning to make sure you get yak while you're bringing in that football over the middle. And that's one thing we noted about his draft portfolio coming out for the draft this year is his ability to get yak. He's a thicker slot receiver that you can move on to the outside. Tough to tackle. Nasty after the catch. That's one thing about him, but he's also a very technical route runner. Like the finer, detailed nuances you're getting out of him. As we all know, we're seeing what's up with Chris Godwin. The old warhorse there. Jalen McMillan, we're not sleeping on him. He's got a good rapport with Baker Mayfield. This time last year, we were notating that. Baker Mayfield was looking his way a lot. In 11-on-11s, he was killing it. Jalen McMillan was. But also, now you got your vets, Godwin, Evans, and now you got your come-ups with McMillan and Emeka Egbuka. He's so smooth getting in and out of breaks. He's so smooth. He's going to be a sound wide receiver for this team. That's for sure. He's going to be a very sound, technical, polished wide receiver for this team. Which, the polishedness of his game is going to allow him to be on the field, allow him to get notoriety, allow him to ascend as he develops. That's what you're seeing here from Emeka Egbuka. We're hearing good things about him. He's cooking guys today. Cooking guys in the joint practices. You need to pay attention to the joint practices, not just the preseason games. The joint practice is probably even more important. There's just more reps. Just more reps against oppositions. Come back to the ball. Again, smart player. Very smart technical player. Former 5-star recruit out of high school. Went to Ohio State. And he played with guys like Marvin Harrison Jr. and was still able to have some production. He played with some elite wide receivers and still saw the field and still saw targets. That's one thing you can notate about him. Like, he could have went to any other program, could have transferred out, could have did whatever, and been the leading wide receiver there if he was selfish and was all about himself. But he was able to get his opportunity while sharing the field with other very good wide receivers. Other NFL caliber wide receivers. So you really got to look at this Ohio State alumni of wide receivers a little bit differently because how they were sharing the field. He was able to produce with good wide receivers around him. He's going to make an impact for this team. And right before he decided to not go into the draft last year, he was pegged as a first-round pick. It's hard for a guy being pegged to go in the first round, deciding to stay for the next year, even to make that decision. But it's hard for a player like that to go wire to wire the next year and keep that status and go in the first round. Like, we've seen that. Like, it doesn't happen too often, but a lot of times they see a drop in stock due to health, due to this, due to that. A lot of things could happen in a year. This is a very good wide receiver prospect here. Very technical. Good kid. He's a very good kid. Very good kid. Very smart, very nuanced. But when you're looking at this for fantasy football, so he's going at a good spot in drafts where you're not too scared of the draft capital, where it's not going to burn you up if you got a long rookie ramp up, or if it doesn't hit to like week 10 or so, or Godwin comes back, or if it's messy due to sharing targets. But also, he's palatable enough where you make that pick and you know that first round caliber wide receiver, technical, on a team with a good quarterback that will push it, that does not care who you are. If you're young, he'll still push it to you. If you're open, you're getting the target. You're playing with Mike Evans, where we love him, but back nine of his career, might miss some games. He did last year. Might get the opportunity to fill those voids like we're seeing with Chris Godwin right now. Sharing it with Jalen McMillan. A lot of things are up in the air during a rookie season. You typically get a rookie ramp up with most rookies. If you endure a rookie ramp up, the price is palatable, though. The upside's immense because he could fit well into this offense. Change of coaching staff, change of this, but it sounds like they're going to keep some of that identity. We'll see offensive line changes, some variables in there, but they're also putting a stamp on it that they want to stay good at wide receiver. They want to keep that passing game up through their transactions here. I look for him to have a good rookie season where it flashes. I look for him to have some moments. I look for him to be hard to set lineups with. But I look for him to have an opportunity and a string of games where it's an aha moment that will make you feel good about him going into 2026. A lot of people were a little bit down on his stock in Dynasty, especially rookie drafts, even though he's a first-round wide receiver due to what's in front of him. But if you look at Jackson Smith and Jigba, give him about 2 years, things will probably clear out. Things will probably clear out. The NFL comes at you fast. The NFL comes at you fast. Nothing negative to the veterans there. The NFL just changes over fast. Just things change. And I think he's going to be a good role player for this team. I think he has potential to give you good fantasy production. I think the odds of hitting like that top 10, top 12, top 15-ish wide receiver numbers on a consistent basis, that's going to be tough to do. That's going to be tough to do. The potential's there, but that's going to be tough to do. Not going to say it's not out of the realm of possibilities. But he's going to be a stable asset. He's going to be good year to year. This is a guy that came out of high school, 5-star recruit, goes to Ohio State, has a good career there, gets drafted in the first round. Now he's making plays in camp. Pretty much went wire to wire. Like, he's never been proved wrong. Outside a few little injuries at Ohio State, he's never really been proved wrong. Able to compete against some hosses at Ohio State. Able to do that. Keep it trucking. Like, there's a lot of good things you can say about Emeka Egbuka. There's a lot of good things you can say about Emeka Egbuka. Like, he went wire to wire. When I look at him, he's a little bit more expensive when you're looking at lottery ticket wide receivers, but when you look at the draft capital, when you look at the upside, potentially, when you look at what's around him in the draft slots, it really depends if it's a home league draft. Rookies tend to slide a little bit more. So I'm really loving that cost, projected home league costs, which there's no ADP for a home league, but rookies tend to slip a little bit, especially at wide receiver. It really depends on the running back, especially at wide receiver. ADP at underdog, kind of like drop it down a little bit on rounds, and You kind of got an idea where he's going to be going in your home league draft, and it's a good lottery ticket player. You do not have many lottery ticket wide receivers this year. That's the main thing. Like, you don't have many lottery ticket wide receivers because it was a weak wide receiver class. Like, we're not going into the 3rd round, 4th round of this year's NFL draft at wide receiver and being very excited. There is a couple guys that I can pinpoint out to you, and I probably got to make the video, like a Pat Bryant from Denver. And that's somebody you're probably going to pick up off waivers this year. But a lot of the beat writers saying he might be a starter by the end of the season. Like, he's been making play after play after play. That's a name to pay attention to. I've mentioned that a lot. But that doesn't mean it will happen, but I'm going off what the beat writers are saying. And that could just mean a lot of routes, 5 targets a game, so. That could mean splash plays. Don't know. Emeka Egbuka is going to climb the depth chart. Climb the target ranks. That's probably better to say. He's technical. He's sound. Baker's going to feel comfortable with him. Him and McMillan, those are 2 good wide receivers to have. Godwin's going to eventually be back. Mike Evans is going to clear things out for these 2 wide receivers. I think this is going to be a fun passing game. I think the Bucs are going to be fun this year. That's the main thing. I think Emeka Egbuka is going to be fun in daily fantasy football. That's probably the best bet for him for you if you're starting a lot of lineups and tournaments. Cash is a different story. That's a different story week to week. Really depends on the price ranges. But cash is a huge different story. Big money tournaments. Big tournaments, not big money, but big tournaments. Max entry, where you can submit a lot in lineups. Yeah, you're going to get some Emeka Egbuka stacks a lot this year. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.